See it now, I think.
Yep, awesome. It looks like we are now live on Facebook. Perfect. Yeah, so welcome back, y'all, to another Client Spotlight interview. Man, hyped for this. So we got Eric Michael on here, man. Super unique offer. Been working with us for about 90 days. Hell of a story. So very excited about this, man. We work with a lot of people, as you guys know, in our client program, Built to Scale. All the offers are pretty unique, but this one's really good. So Eric, I want you to introduce yourself first, man. What is it that you do? Who do you serve? And how long you've been doing it?
Cool. Well, thank you for having me on, Rob. And so what I do is, I run a coaching program that teaches people how to buy and sell sports cards. So cards as in CARDS, modern sports cards. And I've been doing it for about 7 years, and we started the coaching program about 2 years ago. And we serve the person who makes 60 to 70K a year and wants some extra income, a couple grand a month. Some people do end up quitting their jobs, but an extra couple grand a month, either A, spend more time with their family, B, go on more vacations, whatever it is they may need. And yeah, I've been doing it for about 2 years, and it's been going a lot of ups and downs, but thanks to you guys, it's been going up at a rapid pace recently.
Rapid is like absolute. Yeah, I am very excited about you to talk about this, man. Well, before we get into like the cool headline of like, yeah, you went from 50K a month to 150K a month, which is super hot. And to do it in 90 days is you're right, an extreme scale. But what was it that you felt like was holding you up or slowing you down before working with us?
Gotcha. So I'll give you the quick backstory on like our business when we started and how it leads into like what I'm going to say. So when we started our business, it was 2 years ago, and my buddy and I actually moved out to Miami to start our business. We launched it the day the pandemic started. And we didn't really know much about business, leads, much about that, but we knew how to run Facebook ads. So we started a Facebook ad, simple funnel, and it blew up. Overnight, blew up. We had like 20 booked calls. We were getting booked calls like $5 a pop through Facebook ads. It was insane. And we just were getting on the phone. We didn't really know how to sell. We were just got on the phone with a million people. A couple would buy, and we were making absolute, huge amounts of money. Then over time, of course, the market, like, it was very hot when the pandemic started. And of course, as your business goes on, you learn how to run a real business, follow up with leads, client success, all that stuff. And as time went on, our cost per call went up, and we didn't know how to follow up and stuff. And our business started to go really downwards. But throughout that whole time where our business was going down, we thought the solution was to spend more on Facebook ads. It's probably not the solution, but that's what we did anyway.
Most people would think, right?
Yeah. But actually, the real problem was we didn't have client success structured. We didn't know how to follow up with leads. We didn't know how to properly sell. There are way more problems than just running more ads. But anyways, throughout the next year where things were going really up and down, we kept running ads. So we had we had a massive list of like we were doing like maybe 30, 40K a month, but we had a list of like 20,000 leads. It made no sense. And then as we started to invest in mentors and resurrected our business, I came in touch with you guys. And I forgot who I spoke to Ben first, and then he pointed me to Frank, and then Frank literally got on a Zoom call with us and literally requested to access to my screen, did everything for us. He set up the whole reactivation campaign, the scripts, everything. We actually became pretty friendly. We've actually hung out a couple times because we both live in New York. And basically what you guys did for us is you took our list of 20,000, and now we have setters in place and automation in place. So like, we just automatically follow up with these leads every single day, 100 to 200 new leads on autopilot. And we didn't know how to do that. Didn't know how to utilize our list. If you guys have ever read one of Russell Brunson's books, he always talks about the power is not in running ads or opt-in, the power is in the follow-up. We didn't know how to do that until you guys.
Yo, so powerful, man. And for y'all listening to this, like, that's just how dramatic it can be. Now, not saying that you'll have the exact result that, Eric had, increasing by 100,000 a month in, cash collected. But it could be very similar. It could be better, in some cases, right? So now there are a few things that led into that. So that's what I want to talk about for sure. And then I want to talk about some of the stuff that was maybe a little bit harder to adapt, right? Because this whole process isn't all unicorn rainbows. So let's talk about first all the different components that led to that success. What are the different tools, strategies, and tactics that you use from us outside of just hiring an appointment setter to be able to achieve that result.
Gotcha. So you're asking me like outside of you guys?
Well, outside of just the appointment setter, what are some of the other things you use from us? Yeah.
Just the appointment setter. So, the biggest thing, this is probably honestly the biggest thing in terms of like automation is appointment reminders. So we had these, fancy appointment reminders, sending these people all these, things and look at this, look at that. And Frank came in and he's like, no, when you send appointment reminders, your goal is just to get the lead to respond. That's it. That's all that matters. So he set up these simple but really effective appointment reminders for our 60-minute Zoom call. And it just changed everything. Like our show up rate went from it wasn't good, like 30, 40%, then shot up 20% just like that because of the appointment reminders you guys or Frank set up for us. And we learned from you guys. So that was huge. And then the reactivation campaign, and then also the scripts, another big thing that was driving a lot of leads away was qualifying them. So like when we would talk with a lead, we would just kind of ask them, hey, based on how much money do you have? Do you have X amount of money to join our program? And obviously that would drive a lot of leads away, especially in our niche, because people in our niche work regular jobs. So if you ask someone, with a regular job, how much money you have, it could come off kind of offensive, as opposed to in B2B, you can kind of finagle and be like, how much revenue have you been doing? It doesn't sound that invasive. So Frank basically kind of told us, just kind of feel it out, right? If the person tells you he's a financial advisor and he's been doing it for 15 years, you don't need to ask that person if he has money, because it's obvious he does. You don't need to drive him away by asking, do you have X amount of money to invest, right? Things like that, the appointment reminders and just how to set properly, just game changing.
Yeah, man. And, I love that you really dove into that, because so many people say like, no, I've got these automated reminders already. I don't need that. I've got a setter script already. I don't need that. Like, I've already got this and don't need that. But it's the efficiency and how well that thing works. So, I love that you brought that up, because it's really misinterpreted a lot of the time. People feel like they've already got something in place. So they don't need it.
Yeah, well, just look at it. So one of the biggest things I've learned in business. So like the biggest problem when we first started our business in the very beginning, and we had a lot of success just because we were new to market, was it built up an ego for me and my business partners. So we never invested in mentors. We never invested in coaches. And over time, when things started to go south, we realized, okay, we need to invest in coaching. We need to invest in mentorship. So when it comes to coaching and business, and I've learned this from another mentor who I look up to, Alex Hormozy, and yourself, is lose all ego, right? The bottom line is, at the time when we met you guys are doing like 8 to 10x us, right? So there's something, I don't know what you guys know, but whatever you guys are doing is way better than me. So lose it all and just listen to you, because you've been doing it way longer and you do way more numbers. That's the bottom line. So like, that's the kind of the approach I take with coaching and mentorship. Dude,
this is why you guys are going to keep growing, man. Like, your mindset is right and everything else is going to work because of that. Like, so, that's freaking awesome, man. And hearing how you're now managing your team is amazing. Can you talk about that a little bit? We talked a little bit about before the recording, and I think it's a super overlooked skill set. So I would love to hear how it was before and then what you're doing now.
Gotcha. So one of the most inspiring things from joining you guys is, so Frank is, I think, what does he call him? He calls himself the COO or whatever he calls himself.
Yeah, he's a COO. He handles all the, oh no, he is, dude. The stuff he does, like,
yeah, I feel like he does a little bit of everything. But yeah. But so when we became friends, because we had a lot of mutual interests, he was like, come out to the city. We're all gonna go out, me, you, his girlfriend, a couple of other of your team members. And when I got there, it was amazing. Like, we were all at the bar, drinking, nothing crazy. And everyone was talking about sales and setting, and this happened this week and next week. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, how did Rob build this culture where like everyone's at this bar drinking, but everyone's talking about business and sales? And it was like phenomenal. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And it's because I realized, it's not only people are, I guess work acquaintances or they're just employees, everyone's friends. So I kind of took that approach into my business now. Like, I don't have the luck, one of my setters is in Alaska, the other's in Texas, the other's in like Southern Texas. Like, I don't have the luxury for everyone to really meet up. But what I did is I started being more of a friend. Just to like give you an example, like one of our setters, one time I asked him, do you have a girlfriend or are you single? And he told me he was single. I was like, dude, I could help you out. I gave him like a course that I took a long time ago that basically teaches you how to attract like high quality girls, but little things like that, like just go a long way in becoming friends. And now he asks me questions, you know, hey, what did you think of this? What do you think of this conversation, that conversation? But like, I just try to be absolutely as much of a friend as possible outside of like the sales meetings and like, you know, talking about numbers and setting and all that stuff. So like, that's something I learned from you guys on like how to build culture. It's not only just, you know, numbers and sales and setting, like actually these people are humans, right? Let's be friends if we're all going to be working together.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, again, this is why you're just going to keep excelling. Like your mindset, the way that you adjust, like the way you treat people, like that's the biggest part. And as a company is growing, if y'all are watching this, understand that like the most expensive thing you can do is to hire people and do it the wrong way, or do it in a way where you train them and invest time and money and then they leave like in a short amount of time. Like that's a super costly experience. So dude, you're hedging against that. You're doing things the right way. That's super exciting. So this thing took 90 days for you to do this type of result, which is phenomenal. So let's talk about the things that maybe were a little bit more difficult to adapt. You came in, you moved fast, you got an appointment setter, put together all the tactical stuff, scripts, reactivations, appointment reminders. So what were some of the hard things to adapt to?
Gotcha. So hard things to adapt to. So one, this wasn't that hard, but one of the things we were doing wrong for you guys, we were paying setters like half hourly, half commission. Don't pay any hourly. It's a bad idea. And then one of the things that we were having trouble with when you guys came on, or when you guys helped us out with the setters, we were booking all these calls, but people weren't because remember, we had this list of like 20,000 people. We haven't done much with it. Like we weren't posting much content. We really didn't reactivate them that much, which is great because there's this list of an untapped 20,000 people. But the bad is they don't know who you are, right? Because when you run Facebook ads and Instagram ads, people are just clicking all over the place. They don't remember anything. So one of the things we started to do, and which just absolutely changed everything, we actually moved from New York to Texas for 3 months to learn this, is organic content and how to really utilize it. So the minute we combined what you gave us with the setters and the reactivation, you know, now we post organic content every single day, like 2 to 3 reels a day on my Instagram. It changed everything. So like our show up rate went from like, it was like 40%. Then we met up with you guys got it to like 60%. And now when we started posting content every day, now it's like 80% plus, like every single day. And when these setters get on the phone, because when these setters get on the phone with these leads, now they know who we are. They're like, oh yeah, I've seen your content. I love when you talked about this and that and this and that video. And it was just absolutely game changing. So like when we combined the reactivation with the organic content, it just blew up. And that's how we went from like 50K to 150 once we connected those two pieces.
Dude, that's freaking killer, man. And so everyone watching this, it's important to know, like, it's not just one thing, right? So there's like multiple things that Eric did in order to make this thing work to the extreme that it worked. And dude, hats off to you, man, for having the time management, the clarity, like the open mindset to be able to implement these things. Because you're right, dude, I was in a similar boat in my early years starting out. Ego got the best of me. And, you know, all the things you're saying now, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. So that's awesome. So who would you recommend us to, bro? Who would you recommend the sales agency to?
Any business that has leads. if you have leads and you sell something, you should do it. As long as like, online or offline. If you have leads, they know how to get the most out of them. So like, take it from me. I didn't know anything about following up with lists and reactivating. And here I am 3 months later, I've tripled my business, and 80% of that revenue comes from reactivating and it comes from setting, which is what they gave me. So, if you have leads, you should sign up with them. That's my advice.
Hey, that's good advice. Well, how about you, man? Dude, you got such a unique business. It's awesome. And, it's a cool way to invest money to be able to like have something else also on the side going. So where can people find you, bro, to talk more about this with you and see how they can get involved in
that? Honestly, so I'm not going to give you any links because I think you guys should look at the content first and make sure like this is something you'd be interested in doing. So you can just go to my Instagram and stalk it or give me a follow. My Instagram is Eric with a C, Eric Michael MLP. That's really it. You can just go there. I'm not going to give you guys any booking links or anything until you look at the content and decide this is something you want to do.
I love it, dude. So to make it easier for y'all, I will include Eric's link to his Instagram above or below this video. So you can just go give him a follow, man. See what the dude's got going on.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. And dude, Eric, again, thanks for taking the time, bro, to jump on and do this. And, until the next client spotlight interview, we'll catch you all next time.